Just went live now, so just waiting for Bobby. We're kind of in a semi-time crunch, but not that bad. We'll wait a couple of seconds for Bobby to come join, and then we will take a gander at this slate, the most important decision of which is what to do with this weather game, right? With any luck, by the time I check my Twitter, the game will have been postponed, or we'll get some more information on it at least. Let's see, anything new? Guess we're just gonna have to wait on this for a little bit, right? Get some degree of clarity. No, nothing yet, I don't think. I mean, there's some people that are from Cleveland itself who are saying that it's raining. But I don't know. I don't know what people are. I don't know what people are saying or whatever. So K9, you're saying that you're fading the rain games, both of them, huh? You're gonna fade the Cleveland too. Yeah, I'm gonna wait this out a little bit. Is there still ownership on these rain games? Sure. People, you know what? People are chilled. People are waiting. Still got 40 minutes. They're certainly going to be, they're certainly going to be lower owned than the other games. But who knows? I mean, I think that the Senzel is going to be still going to be pretty popular, right? There's the Bobby. There's Mr. B, as he's so known in this particular restream.
What's up, ma'am? Sorry, my screen's off, guys. I have no tooth, and as of tonight, it'll be fixed. So
he's toothless. Yeah,
being visual tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Sheets, I guess the big question we're gonna have is, what do we do about these?
It's exactly what we've been talking about the past 3 minutes, and as of this particular moment, we just don't know, right? We're gonna continue to. I'm gonna continue to wait for a bit, right?
At least.
And I guess we do have to prepare somewhat. So if in fact there's no news of a delay by 6:30, do we take a shot at Hunter Green, for example, or do we take a shot at the Reds, for example? I don't know.
I think that if there's no delay, I would definitely throw it in some tournaments. It won't be my main stack.
Okay.
I still think there's going to be some ownership there, but it will certainly be a lot less than it's projecting for, and it's the highest total on the slate, right? I believe it is. But yeah, I'm just trying to.
Toronto.
I might be wrong on that. It's up to 10, and
I just mean the Toronto side. I mean, Toronto side's like 5.5.
Yeah, Toronto. Yeah, but what's it called? The Reds have a 5.1.
Oh, I thought they were both 4.5. Okay, you can be right.
Yeah, it went up since the beginning of the day, so it's the tied for the highest total. But I think there will be some ownership there, but I can't imagine it'll be what's currently being projected by some of these sites.
Oh yeah, they haven't updated this. No way.
Yeah, and I double checked a couple things, and
no way.
I do think you'll see double-digit ownership on some of these guys if there's no delay.
Like Senzel for openers. I mean, he could be 20% if this game is is going to play.
Senzel, Farmer on FanDuel, Pham on FanDuel, Votto on FanDuel.
They don't even think about FanDuel.
Yeah, no, I mean, on DraftKings are a little more expensive, so people aren't going to play, I don't think, 4,900 for Farmer or 5,100 for Drury, but on FanDuel, they're much more reasonable. Well, I do really like Hunter Green, though. I'm going to take a shot in a couple tournaments, but again, it probably won't be my big one just because I'm a little too nervous. What's up to my man K9 in the house? And Joanne saying golf was going to be tough this week. I haven't looked yet, but Apparently the pricing is crazy.
I think the pricing's okay. You know what there is? There's a lack of guys in the middle. Like there's some couple guys at the top who are good, and then there's a big gap, to these other guys. I did a quick look actually at the salaries, and I think that there's some good spots, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So other than that, so we do have some more pitchers and information, and it's exactly what you want to hear if you wanted to stack Houston like I am going to, which is the biggest hitters umpire on the slate.
Ooh.
Is in Houston. You could actually take the point of view that maybe, I'm not saying you should be playing Seattle much, but
I'll play Seattle.
Yeah, well, but maybe limiting your Javier because we just saw it. He walked 4 guys in the last game. He throws too many pitches sometimes. He's been walk happy this year, so maybe it's a time where you could take that shot, either fading Javier or playing Seattle. I do think Javier is going to be so popular, and currently I'm a little below the field on him. But I have Snell in like my main lineup and like no other lineups. I'm doing that thing sheets that we like to do sometimes.
Yep.
And otherwise, though, I'm going to be heavy on the Mets, especially on FanDuel, where the pricing is a little bit easier to get to. And I just think there's going to be no ownership here. You have the team with the highest on-base percentage in baseball against a guy who at times just walks everybody. So
yep.
I think it's just both sides of it make a lot of sense to me. And even when Snell isn't walking everybody, he just has a hard time getting through games just because he gets so deep in so many counts. And I don't know. What
do you think of the other idea of playing the Padres?
I think it's viable. The Padres have won a lot of games this year, and I don't know how, because they don't consider this. It's like nobody on their team is having a good year except for Machado, who's been incredible.
Grisham's hitting 9th.
I know Grisham's hitting 9th, and you've got Mazzara at 2.1. There's some value there for sure. At some point, Grisham will turn back into the leadoff hitter again, but I think Voit is a great play just on his own at 2,800.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of more on the Carrasco side. I actually have Carrasco in my main lineup on FanDuel right now at 8,500.
What do you make of the Texas Cleveland game? You playing that?
I'm worried about that one weather-wise, so I don't think you should be dabbling with that game. I mean, look, you're not talking about that far away from Cincinnati, and you have some serious concerns there. If not for Cincinnati, we would be talking about that. But the thing that you get in that game is you get the cheap stacks. The low-owned stacks. And I just don't see that many people going to those stacks. And maybe Texas will have some ownership actually, but I don't think Cleveland outside of Jose Ramirez is going to be particularly high owned at all. So I would say stack or fade it personally, just because of the weather. So that's where I'm at with it. How about you?
Is that guy from the Red Sox not playing?
Which one? Duran?
Yeah.
I didn't see the lineup come out. It might have come out right.
I think Bradley is playing. So
no Jaron Duran. So I'm gonna have to edit that. I'll probably have to get out of here at around 6:30 just to make sure I don't.
There's a different Duran playing.
Oh no. So I still don't have a Red Sox lineup. Do you have one, Chiefs?
I guess not. But I thought I saw Bradley playing.
Maybe let me take a look here.
No, I don't see the lineup yet, but I saw JBJ playing on one of the Discord channels.
Well, that would kill the Duran value, obviously, if he's out. Yeah, no Sox yet. Guys, Snaggle too. That's funny, Joanne. Let's see what else we got here in the Discord. Duran. I like it. Canine Bronco Sheets. We got the chance to play Duran.
That's kind of that's a reflex action by you. I know.
What do you mean?
Just to play Duran.
It's just the natural thing to do.
It's more of a reflex than the natural thing.
What's wrong with it?
Maybe somebody will get this. I don't know.
Oh, that's a joke that I'm missing here.
The reflex is a big Duran hit, actually.
Oh, okay. I should have known that one. It was a very young part of my childhood when that was.
Yeah, I'm showing my age, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have both Durans in a couple lineups because I have a little bit of a Texas stack.
If you did Duran, Witt, then you're,
There you go, Duran, Witt, and then just play the Blue Jays.
That's it.
I really am liking this Houston spot. I think I'm going to stick with this. It is interesting. I just want to point out something. I'm not going to give away the exact all the stuff from Saberson, but you will see very different run totals on their projections. And I think it's just interesting, even like that San Diego New York game that's got a 7.5 run total. They've got it more at like 8.5. They've got the Texas Cleveland game higher. They've got Toronto to score more. They've got Houston a little higher. They've got Boston and the Angels higher, and they've got Cincinnati and Arizona lower in terms of projected run scored. So I would encourage people to look at it. And in my brief run lately and what I've been doing and using their stuff as along with your stuff sheets, I really think that, if you're trying to get an accurate idea of where ownership is going to be, it's going to be very hard on slates like this because of the Arizona Cincinnati game.
Yeah, because they don't update the ownership.
Right.
Keep it the same.
Right. And anyway, so everybody is I was looking at some other team stat things today. I wanted to do some more team digging. We're far enough into the year where we can really start finding some things out. You know what I mean? About these teams as a whole. Like, I think people will probably be surprised. And, somebody wrote earlier in I think it was our Discord, or maybe it was some conversation I had on Twitter. Oh, Arizona, you can't play Hunter Green against Arizona. They don't strike out. And I'm like, well, they strike out the second most of any team in baseball. So just to give that, you know what I mean? There's like a perception people have. Like, I bet you people, if you everybody could probably guess who's hit the most home runs in baseball. It's the Yankees. I don't think that's a surprise. I don't think how many people would guess who's second, and that's the Brewers. There's a lot of things that you sort of you hear a lot of things talked about, and you hear a lot of just like reputational almost stuff, and it's just not always accurate. So make sure that you really do know some of these things. And I started because I was trying to dig into the on base percentage thing. And while the Mets don't necessarily walk a ton, they're sort of middle of the road, a little bit on the better side. Just the on base percentage is enough of a reason. Because if you get a couple, with that power against Snell, I just think there's so much upside. And I really like my original idea of just sticking with the Mets and Houston today. But I would encourage people to take a look. It's really easy. Just do a search on there just to see where teams really are at, because it might surprise you. It might surprise you, especially the teams that strike out. Atlanta leading the league in strikeouts by a pretty hefty margin. I still hear people talk about them and they're like, oh, but it's so scary to take pitchers against the Braves. It's not scary if the team strikes out. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. I'm not worried about power. I just want to take pitchers against teams that I can get guys who can strike out again, who they'll strike out against.
You think Martin Perez is 10K next time?
I think he better be.
Right.
You got the Martin Perez and Nestor Cortez, the Perez Cortez for Cy Young this year. Who had that one?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
If you bet this before the season, those guys would be 1 and 2 in Cy Young voting at this point of the season. I think you would have been pretty good. Rody loves the Mets and Houston. Look at Rody getting all contrarian with me. I love it, Rody. I am plugging in these Blue Jays. I do have a full Blue Jays. I have a 4-4 stack. I'm just going to say that on.
Look at you.
I did play 4 Blue Jays, which feels weird, but I did put the Mets as my secondary stack, with 3 Mets. Actually, it's not 4-4, it's 4-3. But I really like the idea of only if you're gonna do it, just try to include the bottom of the order, or include one of the catchers for the Blue Jays. It's very simple to get different with just playing either Kirk or Jansen, especially. And I think that those guys will be, especially Jansen's going to be low owned because he's batting 9th. Danny Jansen's been freaking awesome this year. One other thing I wanted to point out just about team stats in general, you'll notice this time of year, it'll happen throughout the season. The Dodgers are 3rd in the league in doubles. The Red Sox are always going to basically lead the league in doubles because of the Green Monster. So I don't even really count them. They're always going to hit a lot of doubles. But what you should notice, though, is that Atlanta's had some decent hitting weather. We haven't had good hitting weather yet in LA and most of the West Coast, including San Diego, places the Dodgers have played, San Francisco. When it starts getting warmer, those doubles are going to become home runs a lot more often. And as much as people already are, it's not like I'm saying anything great. Oh, you should be playing the Dodgers a lot, but you really should be playing the Dodgers a lot. The other team that's interesting that stuck out to me was the Cubs with some, they've had some good hitting games, but they've had a lot of really bad hitting weather. And, they're 4th in the league in doubles. Those things, as it warms up, as the wind starts to blow out, you're just going to see them turn into home runs. That's just the way that it goes. So I just think keeping an eye on that is just a little, not a trick, but a little thing that I like to do as the season goes on. For what it's worth.
See if there's any Cincinnati news on Twitter here. Let's see. Reds. Diamondbacks versus Reds. Will the second storm appears to guarantee to hit now. There will be some baseball at least. And these are just random tweets, actually.
Right.
Let me just see.
Yeah, I'm looking too. That's all we can really do on this slate, right? Like,
Yeah.
not a whole lot else.
Someone else is saying thinks it's going to be a rain out. Yeah, I think that if it's 6:20 and there's no info, I probably will fade it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are other spots to attack, right? Like, it's not like we need to play it. It does scare me a little bit. I mean, you have the best hitting park on the slate by like a landslide. And you've got both pitchers actually with upside, I would say. But both who can just get crushed by power.
Yeah.
Hunter Green is, somebody wrote also, I saw another thing. Hunter Green has no strikeout pitch because he can't get that weak changeup going. And I'm like, no strikeout pitch. This guy's strikeouts per innings are phenomenal. I don't think he's had a start yet where he hasn't struck out more than a batter per inning.
It's funny how people just say shit,
Yeah, they just say it like as if it's a fact. And I'm just like, no, let's do a little research and figure out if that's actually true. It's just not. It's just simply not true. And if Hunter Green stops giving up, 3 home runs every game, he'll walk himself into like some 30 fantasy point outings on DK, like very easy.
So once again, just if it's 6:42, then everything that you've done in the Reds game is locked in, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
And the other one though that comes up is the Cleveland, and I'm just gonna say like this game is not like a guarantee. No. It's gonna be ugly, but I mean it's great hitting weather, but it's supposed to be raining pretty good all night long. So I'm a little worried about that one, but it looks like the bad storms might drift off a little bit. But you see, and again, I always shout out Kevin Roth. I do look at some other weather stuff too, but I if you see an orange yellow from him, it doesn't exactly feel great on a small slate in a game that I already feel a little bit iffy on. So what I did was I took John Gray out of my main lineup because I was gonna take a shot with Gray.
Yeah, I think that's a good play.
But it worries me a little bit with the weather. So I'm a little bit lower on it than I was initially. And, at the same time, I wasn't so high on it because, I mean, Cleveland doesn't strike out at all, hardly, compared to most teams. They've had a couple games where they've had like huge strikeout totals. And then other guys like aces go in there and they give up. They go 7 innings, they get 3 strikeouts or something.
Let me see something. Is that game also a 6:40? No, that's later.
Mm-hmm.
That's 7:10.
7:10, yeah. For a change. Usually that Cleveland game goes in the 6:40 grouping as well. Mets lineup is out apparently, which is very important for me. So I'm going to take a look at what it is because they you'll see them mix it up against lefties. They don't always do the same thing.
Let's see.
All right. So you've got what is that? Oh no, that's not.
I don't see that yet.
I've got it here. Nimmo, Marte, Lindor, Alonso, Canna, Davis, Escobar, McNeil, Nido.
Sounds standard.
Pretty standard. The Nimmo thing, I think there were some people questioning whether he was going to play for sure, but I thought he was going to play. So yeah, I mean, all these guys are. I'm sorry, not Nido. The Nimmo, not Nido.
Right.
These names are they blend together. With baseball, it's so hard. There's just so many names, like. And then you've got to realize, like every offseason these days, everybody changes their swings and shit, does everything. So we're just hitting the point where we can start catching up on some of this stuff. It just feels like every time we don't play, I really want to play Pete Alonso. I even just as a one-off, like it doesn't matter lefty or righty. I don't care about him. Like, so he strikes out some. He has just ridiculous power. And he's just always.
You get all kinds of leverage against Guerrero and
mm-hmm. Yeah, and
who's the other first baseman? Duffy probably get ownership.
Duffy will get ownership. Probably more at third, but probably he'll get some there. And then Ohtani will get some there because they don't want to play the outfielders. Jared Walsh will probably have some ownership. Christian Walker should have ownership, but again, we have the game, and it's going to be real interesting to see what people end up doing with this game.
Yeah.
And that's partly why I don't want to do it either, because then there are going to be people having the exact same thought I have. So they're going to go, okay, well then we'll just game stack it. And then so even if I'm only with 5% of the field, I just have the exact same plays as 5% of the field. That's not good enough, you know. Hunter Green is warming up according to Big Ticket. Thanks for that's good news to know.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. A lot of people talking about KC. I'm okay with KC on a big slate. I wouldn't even consider them, but I would use them more as a secondary, like maybe a mini stack. I do love the Salvador Perez play just to get off of the chalk from the Blue Jays. I think that's a really good point by Sharks. And look, Salvador Perez. What do we say about him? He hits a home run every day. Just look at his game log. He just hit home runs the last 2 days. That means he'll probably hit another one today. I'm paying down a catcher for what it's worth today. I just couldn't find anything. I couldn't find ways to get up there because I'm playing these expensive contrarian stacks like Houston and the Mets. I do think, though, that if you're playing on FanDuel, the way you can get different with that Blue Jay stack is to play one of these catchers. And I'm just going to keep reiterating that because that's if you get the Alejandro Kirk game, like he had the 2 home run, that monster game he had a couple weeks ago. And he'll probably be a little bit owned over there, but then you have to but he and Vlad are that locks up both catcher and you know what I mean? So he's kind of like, are people going to want to do that? Will they want to get Teoscar and Springer in instead? For what it's worth, I don't think anybody is going to play Danny Jansen. So
I mean, I think he'll show up in like Toronto stacks, right? I mean,
I think somewhere around 1%, maybe.
Oh, really? You think so?
He's batting ninth. He's batting ninth. He plays the same position as Guerrero, or if you wanted to play the other one, Kirk, who people will all prefer.
Right.
And he's more expensive than Kirk. So I think it's you're talking about 1 to 2% maybe. And I think one way to get really, if you want to get really different and have the most chalky stack on the board, play Jansen and Kirk with whoever else you want, Springer and Bichette. You're leaving out Vlad then. And just nobody is going to do that. And if you really like the stack that much, Vlad can go 1 for 3 with 2 walks and a double or something. And these guys each hit a home run, which boom, you're going to win win it. And nobody's going to be there with you. Nobody's going to have that lineup build.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm probably going to stay on brand and just fade both games. I don't know.
Yeah. K9 is always, he's so good at this. He knows my head so well. He always asks the question right as I answer because of the delay. And so he asked, double catcher, is that crazy? Would you play both of them? And that's right. What I just said, that's crazy. I do like Carrasco for what it's worth, paid and wavy. I have him currently on my FanDuel lineup. I do have to probably get that call in a minute.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but I'm happy to answer any questions. So I'm just going to mute myself for 1 second and I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm probably going to end up just fading that thing. Yeah, Peyton, I like Carrasco. I still like Snell the best. I mean, I know he's got some volatility, but I still do like him the best. I mean, him and Javier are definitely the 2 safest. I mean, I don't see safest, but I think those are the 2 best players. I don't think I'm going to play Carrasco. I don't know. As a matter of fact, maybe I'll play the Padres. That's something you can do. Just fade the rain games. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's probably. I mean, you're definitely. And then if they play, you'll get a good ownership discount, right? Not discount. I mean, then if they play, they announce those early, people will play them. I don't know. Let's just see. What do these lineups look like if I fade these games? You like Boston? I don't know. Maybe I'm Debbie Downer. Maybe I should just, like you said, play those other games, and then if these 2 rain out, I'm just sitting there like the Duke, And if they don't rain out, okay. Then they don't. It's still baseball. Hello. Oh, okay. When are you open until? If I don't make it by then, I'll see you in the morning. No, I'm just on a call. No, I appreciate that. Okay, bye. Padres is the nuts, you think? Yeah, it could be. Sure. How about Daniel Lynch? You think you think he can do anything? Yikes. I like Seattle. And I like Houston. And I like KC. And I like San Diego. Mets, I guess, are okay. I guess that's what I'm going to do. I guess I'm just going to end up fading both those games. For what that's worth. Probably it's probably dumb. It's probably lazy, but here. This one here. This one over here. And we'll do. We're going to diversify a little bit. We don't get too diversified. The more diverse you have it, diverse it is. Yeah, so that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm just going to fade all of this. Hope they rain out. That's what they call lazy DFS. But I don't know. Maybe I think that might be the right idea. I just can't get over this problem of getting zeros. Still no news, huh? The Reds' first pitch is scheduled for 6:50, 10-minute delay. What does that mean, huh? What does a 10-minute delay mean to the average man? Well, I guess that means they're starting. Get in maybe 4 or 5 innings of Hunter Green, maybe? I don't really feel like playing him. I don't really feel like playing him. Yeah, I'm still getting all this Seattle. Mets look pretty good. KC, Mets, Astros, Padres. Yeah.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so the Reds first pitch is scheduled for 6:50.
I mean, it's a good sign if you want to play that game.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull that trigger. I'm going to definitely throw Hunter Green into a lineup or two. Yeah, Hunter Green with a little red stack, and that's going to be my exposure to that one.
Yeah, I guess I'll root for you. I'll fade it.
Yeah, I'm not going crazy with it. I just wanted to get a little bit of exposure there. Reds are a weird team, man. It's hard to know even who you want to play.
Well, I mean, I guess on the one hand you want to play Senzel, but he's so chalky.
Is he though? Like, I mean, is that really going to happen?
Maybe not, right? Maybe not, right?
Right. And that's what I keep going through. I'm not sure if that actually ends up happening.
Oh, there's still no Red Sox, right?
No Red Sox. No Red Sox, no Angels.
Okay.
All right. How are we gonna do this?
Probably gonna have some Syndergaard.
Yeah.
Just to be a glutton, I guess. Glutton for punishment, that would be.
I'm doing it too.
Yeah.
So, and I even, just because I have so much Houston, I threw Robbie Ray into a lineup. Like,
well, why not?
I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I do think the Padres, I mean, we got Peyton Way say it says the Padres are the nuts. Yeah, sure. You know,
why not? Sure. Why not?
It's just, it's a team. I mean, Carrasco's good, and the Padres don't really score a ton of runs in general. So, but I mean, look, it's a small slate. I really don't think you need to worry about full stacking on this slate. You can, but it shouldn't be like, I have to go out of my way to make sure I get this full stack. Other than maybe if you're going to play the Cincinnati Arizona game.
Now, why is that?
It's because it's a small slate.
Why the Arizona game?
Because you're betting against the weather.
Oh, okay.
So I just would rather tend to make a fuller stack in that situation. But I do have some 5-man Houston stacks. All right.
So I'm going to fade the Reds. I'm going to fade the Reds, and I'm going to wait a little bit before fading the Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to fade that one, but I don't love it either.
Right.
And no one playing John Gray. It's a little bit interesting. John Gray coming off 12 Ks, and no one wants to play.
Yeah, it's 6,600, right?
I know. It's kind of interesting. Huh. Might have to do something there. All right, I'm going to go make sure my lineups don't have guys who aren't in them.
That's good, dude. That's a good policy.
It's a good strategy. All right, good luck to everybody, and I'll be in Discord all night. So let me know what's going on. Except
I'm
for
gonna get out of here. Good luck.